And welcome to FPS tutorial of aliens in town. There they are. Put that down. There he's down. Check out this other one. Let's go towards him. Take him down. So now we just go around, check out the neighborhood and make sure it's safe. So let's see this one there. Let's see, we have another one here. We have over there as well. And so what I am going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Unity development environment where we will download this particular asset that I use, and we also make our way straight to Mizamo and grab hold of some characters that we can use within this first-person shooter tutorial. So let's do that now, guys. So I'm going to start a new project entirely. Let's click on new. There we go. Start a new one. Let's give that a name. I'm just going to call it FPS 3. And let's click on create. Okay guys, the Unity editing environment is ready. So I'm going to first of all come right here to Windows, click on Windows, and let's grab hold of package manager. In there we need city package, and that is it right there. It's about 26.86 megabytes. Click on import, and you click on import again. There we go. Okay, so the Polygon City Park is ready. So I'm also going to download the particle effect, 48 particle effect. So I'm just going to click on download as well, or import actually. Let's see, it's coming up now. And click on import again. There we go. Okay, that is ready as well, but we do have an error right there telling us that the CS show all effect is no longer usable. I think it's obsolete according to the instruction here. So I'm going to exit out and let's go into the 48 particle effect pack. We need the script. That's the script right there. Double click on that, and that is the C# language that is obsolete according to this error here. So I'm going to just right click and delete that, and there it's going out. Okay, is deleted the obsolete package or obsolete script, and as you can see the error is gone. Good. Now the next thing we want to do is I need some more objects in here. I need the sound, and I'm also going to need a gun. So let's grab hold of this folder, the gun folder. You guys can get your gun anywhere you want. You can get it in the asset store, or if you have a gun already in your package manager, you can go ahead and do that. Now that all of that is in place, let's come right here. You see the Polygon City Park, double click on that, and you then double click on the scene. That is the scene right there. Double click on the scene. In there you now want to double click on the demo itself. Double click on this demo. There we go. That's it, coming up. And you can double click on, let me look for any of the building. I will just double click on that so that we can be positioned right inside the environment. There we go. Look at that. Check that out, guys. You see that? That's beautiful. It's a very beautiful asset. I want to give credit to whoever developed this. There. That is fine, but the problem is if we run this package itself, because there's no camera in there, it's going to give us an error message saying there's no camera on board. So let me run. You should see the error message now. So then we take it from there. It's coming up. There we go. Look at that. No camera rendering. So let's stop that and come back to our scene. So to take care of that, go straight to your hierarchy here and let's select camera. Click on that. You have a camera there. If you like, you can change the name to main camera. The choice is yours. There, you now have a main camera in there. Why I'm still in the camera, why the inspector is still on the camera, I'm going to come right down here. You see where we have add component. I'm going to add character controller to the camera. There we go. So if we run the program now, we should be able to see the whole environment, provided we're in the right location. But let's see how that is. Then we take it from there. If we have to reposition the camera, that is it. Okay, so we need to be able to move around. Let's stop this from running, and I'm going to go to, you see where the tab game and where we have play focus. I'm going to change that to maximize and let's run it, and you see how the whole environment look like. And one other thing that you guys can do is, if you want to change the skybox, why not? You can change it. The choice is yours because it looks like a beautiful day. Right, that's how that's looking now. But we cannot do anything. We cannot move around or do any other thing. And that's where the coding comes in. So back in here. Okay, so before we go any further, you see the camera. I'm now going to grab hold of the gun. Let's make sure I double click on the camera. I want to know where the camera is situated. That's it right there. I'm going to grab hold of the gun and position the gun right inside the camera. That's my gun there. And this is the gun that I want to use. I'm going to position it right inside the camera here. There as a child of the camera. Okay, the gun will be there somewhere. So we need to do, that's the gun right there. It's a little bit too big, but we can always adjust that. Okay, before I do any other thing, let me run it and you guys will see where the camera, the gun is actually. So let's click on run. And that's the barrel of the gun. So we need to reduce the size of this gun. It's a little bit too big. So make sure the gun is selected and come right here. Change the size to 0.4 by 0.4. And that's the scale actually, 0.4. There we go. So it's kind of like right here. Okay, that's it right there. And that's the camera. So let's run it and see how that's going to look like. So I cannot see the gun properly anymore, so I'll find a way to get that in position. I am going to drag this game tab, just peg it right here so that I can see what I'm up to. And that is the gun there and the camera itself. So I'm going to move the gun and the camera. You can see the whole thing is happening. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see the barrel of the gun. I think it's here somewhere. So I'm going to select the gun again and just move it. No, I should move it that way. Yeah, there we go, that's it. Bring it back a little bit. There we go. I think that is a bit fine. There we go, that's the gun right there. So I'm going to run it. Let's see how that's going to look like. Then we take it from there. And I will also add the ray cars to the gun. So let's see, there we go, that's it right there. Okay, now let's click on the gun. That's the gun there. Right click on it and select UI, then select image, and that is the image. Look at how huge that is. Let's change the width to 20 by and the height to 20 as well. That is it right there. So I'm going to come in here. You see where we have source image. Click on that. Let's look for something round. Okay, I'm going to select that. There, that is it right here. Okay, so if we run it now, that will be aimed towards our enemy or whatever you want to aim it towards. That is it right there. And that is that done. Now let's do one thing. We need to put together some lines of codes. Okay guys, let's go to the project here, and in here I'm going to select the asset. I will then right click on the project area. Let's create a folder, and that folder I'll just call that script there. And let's double click on that script, and now right click inside the script, create, select create, and select C# script, and I'll give that a name. I'll call it mouse look. Now select your script and click on open. Okay, it's coming up now. Right, now the mouse look scripting area is ready. First of all, I'm going to declare a serialize field. So I'm going to start by entering serialize. I just enter square bracket in there and type serialize field. Field is case sensitive, so you must enter your serialize exactly the way I've just entered mine. So the serialize field is going to be a float. Then the variable that I'm going to use for that, we'll call it turn speed. And turn speed, let's make the value about 90 F. The F stands for float there. Okay, next I'm going to declare another serialized field that will actually measure how far up the head can tilt. So I'm going to change this to, let's go for head upper angle limit, and that is going to be, let's change this to 85. There we go. And head lower angle limit, that's how far the head can tilt at lower angle. So that's how far down the head can tilt as well, measured in angle. So we will go for, let's change this to lower, and we can just make that about -75. So that is taken care of. Now the next thing is, let's create two more variables. One will be for yaw, and the other one, the value will be 0f, and the other one will be pitch. So let's say float, and that's pitch, and that's equals 0 as well. Now let's enter another variable that will store the orientation of the head and the body. So I'm going to call, let's say quotidian, and we'll say body start orientation. Okay, that's for the body. Then I'm going to copy that, and this one will be for head start orientation. Change this to head. Now we create another object that will be transform, and I'm going to call that head. So that will be reference to the head object, that is the object to rotate up and down. Now when the program starts, we want it to find the head, so I'm going to say head, that will be equals get components in child, okay, in child camera dot transform. And right inside the start function, we want to get the body orientation and the head orientation. So I'm going to grab hold of these. So that's a body, paste that in here. Body, that would be body start orientation, that would be, let's say, equals transform dot, let it locate, no, local rotation there. And I'm going to also get the head orientation, grab all of that, paste that in there, and just copy all of this, and that will become dot, head dot, transform dot, local rotation. And we then want the cursor to lock and hide the cursor, so let's come in here, there. Okay, so that is taken care of. Now right in here we want the fixed update to keep pace with the physical simulated object. So in here I'm going to change that to fixed update there. We then want it to read the current orientation movement and the horizontal movement and the vertical movement. There we go. Once that is done, we assign your, that would be plus equals, paste that there, and grab this as well, that would be for the pitch, plus equals vertical. There we go. Next, we want to be able to clamp the pitch so that we can look up and down. So in that case, we're going to say pitch equals mass dot clamp pitch head lower angle and head upper angle. So that is done for the pitch. And finally, we just need to create variable that will take care of the rotation of the body, the head, and transform their local rotation. That is it, done for the fixed updates. So have a good look at the lines of codes. Get rid of that. Okay, we're going to try out these lines of codes now. So I will now save it. Click on save. Minimize that straight to our Unity editor. That is the lines of codes. Now, you see these lines of code? I'm going to select the camera, scroll right down here, and then attach that very lines of code to the camera. There we go. If you guys can still remember the character controller that was added, that's, we're going to use that for the movement. Now that we've added that to that, I'm going to click on run. We should be able to pan around both left and right. So let's give that a try and see how that's going to work. You see that, guys, we are now able to move around, but we cannot go forward. We need to put together some lines of code to do that for us. So far it's looking very, very good. Right, so what we need to do now is first of all, let's just stop this from running, and we just need to put together another lines of code so that we can walk around, maybe go forward and back. So I'm going to select C# script and I'll call that movement. Now select the movement script and click on open. There we go. Now I'm going to first of all start by declaring the following variables. So I'm going to enter the following variables there. So have a good look at them. Now inside my function stats, I am going to start by asking the system, let's say controller, this very one here, grab hold of that, paste that here, and I'm going to say controller equals get components, and that is going to be the component that we're talking about is going to be the character controller, this very one there. Grab hold of that and just paste it right there. Okay, now so let's do our movement logic in a fix update here. Okay, so that the movement can happen at the same pace with the physics update itself, so that is fine. So what I would then say is, let's create a variable there, and I'm going to call that input, and that will be equals new vector 3, and the new vector 3, that's going to be input dot get axis, and this axis is going to be horizontal. There we go. So let's enter a comma here and enter 0 for the y-axis. The horizontal is for the x-axis. So another input get axis, that's going to be for the vertical. So I'm going to copy that and write in here, just enter a comma there, and that is going to be for vertical. Let's come in here, just enter vertical there. Right, and you just enter semicolon there. That is good. So next thing, I'm going to say input multiply equals move speed, and that's one of the variable right there. Look at it, the move speed. I'm just taking care of that here. So let's enter semicolon. Then I will also say input, that is going to be equals transform dot transform direction, and we enter input as our argument in the parentheses. And the next thing we need to do is to check if the controller bottommost point is actually touching the ground. So we'll use an if statement there. So if controller dot is grounded, let's enter statement block, and in our statement block we just say movement direction, and that will be equals input. But on the other hand, if the user is pressing the jump button, so we just say if input dot get button is jump, we want the following to happen. So that would be direction, copy that, direction dot y, that would be equals math f dot square, and we just say 2 multiplied by gravity, and we multiply that by the jump height. That is the variable right here, jump height. Grab hold of that and just paste that right there. Enter semicolon here, and else, actually come in here, let's just enter else here. Move direction dot y equals 0. You see the info text has actually given us that. That is good. So The next thing is going to be another else statement, else input dot y equals direction dot y, and direction equals vector lab movement direction or move direction input, comma, air control, multiply that by time dot delta. So let's see now, that's the air control there. Okay, how long it stays in the air there. So now the next thing that we're going to have to do now is bring our movement down by applying gravity over time. And there, guys. Okay, let's save that and we try it out and see how that's going to work. Alright, so just have a good look at the lines of code and we take it from there. I'm going to save it now. Let's go straight to Unity editor, and right there. Okay, the compiler is finished and there's no error. So let's select the main camera, scroll right down and drag the movement script, dump it right there. That's good. So I'm going to try that out as well. So let's run and see. Click on run. Check that out, guys. We can now move forward and we can even move back. That is very, very good. And take a good look at my raycast. That's the distance between this image and here, that's the raycast. That is brilliant. Look at that, guys. I love this asset. Okay, all right, let's end that. We now need to go straight into, let's go straight into Mizamo. I'm going to end that, and right there, I'm now inside Mizamo. I actually need something that looks like an alien. Maybe I should get hold of this Vanguard. Yeah, click on Vanguard and change that. And once that is ready, we now need to add an animation to it. So let's click on animation right here and just check out what animation will look or will be good enough for an alien. Let's see, firing rifle. So let's click on that. I prefer that. Yeah, that's good. Alright, that's good. Let's download that. Click on download. And you see the format. I'm going to change that to Collada and leave the other setting the way they are. Now click on download. Okay, the first part is finished downloading. That is it right there. But I also want to see when we shoot at it, I want it to actually collapse. Let's see something, an animation that would make him die, something like that. Just look for that. I think this would be good enough. I'm going to click on that. Yeah, that's good enough. So let's download that. Click on download. And it's Collada as well. The Collada will include every single texture it's got on. So click on download. And that is it right there. Death from the right and firing rifle. Okay, that's fine. And I'm now going to go straight into my download folder. That is it. Let's extract both files. Let's extract that. And you're going to have to extract the second one as well. Yeah, close that. That's done. Extract this very one as well. Once it's extracted, we then drag them straight on into the project area. Good, both files are extracted. Select death from the right and firing, and let's drag it straight here. Let's drag both folders. There, dump it right there. There, it's ready now. And those are the two folders that I've just added. So I'm going to double click on the firing one, select it, and you then come to the inspector here. You see where we have rig, click on rig, and let's select where it says animation type. I'm going to change that to humanoid, and select the animation tab as well, and let's change that to loop there, so that we get him working all along, as you can see here. That is good. Then click on apply. There we go. And the next thing we want to do now, I'm going to right click here and let's select animation controller right there. I'm just going to give that a name. I'll call it firing. There we go. Double click on the animation controller and let's come back here to my humanoid. If I click on this icon here, look at that. That is the animation controller. I say click and drag, drop it there. You see I have now connected the animation to my animation controller. You can close that now. That is fine. Alright, that's good. So next thing we want to do now is let's drag this human, drag him and just dump him there. It's very huge, so we need to change the size to something like 0.01 by 0.01 by 0.01. That is him right there. Guess you guys can see. Yeah, just right there. Okay. Alright, the next thing we now want to do is select the firing rifle. We now drag the animator controller, this very one. We must drag it straight into this animator controller there. So click, drag and drop it right there, else no animation will take place. So if I run it now, let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to run that. Let's just see that, how that's going to work. It's coming up now. There, let's look. There we go. That's him right there. Okay, see him walking around. See, it's just gone through in there. So there's one more thing we need to add. We need to add capsule collider. So Y is selected. Okay, come right here. Just type in capsule collider. Okay, I've added the capsule collider to him. Now inside the editor here, click on this to edit it. There. Just drag it to cover him. Okay, now with the capsule collider in place, let's try it out and you guys see how that's gonna look like for now. There we go. Okay, that is fine. Now we now need to, okay, that's the dead alien. So right click and let's create animation controller for the dead alien as well. So I'm just going to call it dead. There we go. Now double click on the animator controller and click right here and let's select the animation to link it up. That is fine, but we still need to convert it to humanoid, so I'm going to close that. So now select the alien. Now let's make sure it's converted to humanoid, and right here drop this down, select humanoid, and the animation, let's change that to loop. Oh no, we don't want it to loop because once it's dead, so just leave it like that. If I run it now, boom, that's it. Okay, so let's stop that and click on apply. That is it. I'm going to move it, just paste it here. Let's make sure it's there. Where is it? Okay, it must be very big. And let's reduce the size to 0.01, 0.01, 0.01. There we go. That's the dead alien there. Now grab hold of the animation controller and just paste it inside the controller on the inspector. There we go. So if I run it now, the dead alien should actually collapse, but before then I'm going to apply capsule collider to it. There. And click on edit. Okay, I'm just going to drag it so that we can cover him up. If we don't do that, he won't fall, it will just sink. So let's run it and see. It should actually collapse now. There we go, that's him. He actually collapsed. Okay, so I'm going to stop that and there. Okay, with the dead alien, I'm going to convert it to a prefab. So grab it right there and just dump it here and select original prefab. So that is fine. Dead alien is taken care of. I can now delete it from here. Delete. There. With this firing alien, we need to put together a line of code. So let's go back in here. I actually need two of those. So okay, let's right click in here and create another lines of code. So I'm going to call it secure area. There, secure area from the alien. So now come in here and click on open. There we go. And first of all, I'm going to create a public variable. Let's say public game object, and I'll call that alien down, something like that. There. Now let's get rid of this as well. So let's create the following. I'm going to say void invalid, and we just say destroy game object. There. Now we're now going to create a private variable with, a private function. There's a private void on mouse click, private void on mouse down, and now want it to instantiate do that again, instantiate. That would be alien down, this very one here, comma, transform dot position, comma, transform dot rotate. So that that's fine. So we just need to now say game object, destroy game object. Come right there, paste there. Okay, that is fine. Let's correct this. Alright, I'm going to save that and let's go into our editor. I will now attach these lines of code to the alien. Okay, now that's the alien there, and just grab the line of code, drag it, drop it there. There we go. And now it's asking me alien down. Who is the alien down? The alien down is the dead alien, this very one. So drag the prefab of that dead alien and dump it right there. So anytime the bullet or the gun hits the alien that is firing, is automatically replaced by the dead alien. That's good. Now we're firing alien. Now that we've attached our lines of code to it, I'm now going to convert it to a prefab. Click, drag and drop and accept that. So it's now reusable. So we can have a bunch of aliens here now. Just do whatever we want to do. And just add maybe one more. There we go. We have 3 around. Okay. So let's just run and see how that's going to look like. There we go. Those are the aliens just walking on the street. Okay, let's end it. And I'm now going to write another line of code. Let's put together one. Come in here. No, inside the script. And right click and I'll just call that gun. There we go. Select the script for gun. Open it up. And first of all, we're going to need the following variables for the gun. So those are the variables I'm going to be using for the gun. Enemy destroyed, the radius. Within this radius, 150, it will be down. Then the camera focus, the amount of force, damage. We're going to need particles, sound effect, and muzzle. So that is that taken care of. Okay, let's create 2 functions. The very first one, I'm going to call that void update. And enter statement block. And the second one, I'm going to call that void, let's say, disable alien. There. Now, you see this disable alien. Let's call that inside the update here. And I'm also going to ask this explosion sound to play. So let's enter that here and just say dot play. Now the muzzle flash, I'm going to ask that to play as well. So grab hold of that and come right down here and I'll just say dot play. There. And right inside the void display, I will start by saying let's say raycast hit target. Okay. And we then use an if statement. So if physics.raycast and the camera.transform.position, comma camera.transform.forward and the out. Now what I then want the system to then do is as follows. So we now say secure area, that is up there, that's a secure area, and that is going to be shooting equals target.transform.get component secure area. Okay, so let's use if now. If target dot rigid body is not equals no, then let's enter statement in there. Target dot rigid body dot force minus target dot none, multiply that by the damage force. And finally we enter as follows. Game object clear object equals instance. Then we get our particles and so on. And that is it. So I'm going to save that. Let's click on save and let's come right to straight to the editor here. There we go. It's compiling. So end of statement expected. So let's come in here. Oh, there we go. Save that again. Come right down here. Make sure that is correct. Now, there we go. That is done. So I'm now going to drag these lines of code to the gun. Where is the gun? Should be right underneath here somewhere. Drop that down. And here, add the lines of code straight onto the gun. There. Now that is sorted. We now need to take care of this, all of these variables here, the 4 variables. So first of all, drag the main camera, dump that here. The next thing is the sound. Let's look for the sound. It's right here. Okay, but to add the sound, this is the only way we can get the sound on board. I'm going to go straight into the hierarchy here, and let's select audio, and we select audio source. Now let's add the explosion sound straight onto the audio source. There, that is it. Select the audio source, that's it right there. You see where we have play on awake, I'm going to uncheck that, and that is the sound, so that's fine. We can now click on the gun and then drag our audio source here straight in here. Audio source is sorted. The other 2 things that is left for us to take care of is the particles and the muzzle flash. So let's go back in here, or we can just click on this and select effects, and let's select that. That is the effect there. Okay, can you see that? Now we need to position that where the gun is, and there are some settings we need to take care of. First of all, let's stop that. Okay, so if I play, that is it. Stop. Alright, the choice is yours if you want to change the color. So maybe I should leave the color as white, or okay, let's drop this down and select another color to that white. Change this one to maybe something, a bit of red, so that's fine. Okay, now duration, I'm going to make that about 1. Starts lifetime 1. Start speed, make that 1 as well. So let's come right down here. Let's see the simulation. I'm going to make that world. Scroll down, and here you see where we have the emission. Drop down, you see burst. I'm going to add burst there, and let's just make that maybe 1. And you see the shape, drop the shape down. I'm going to select rectangle for the shape, and the scale will be, let's make that 0 by 0 by 0. Okay, I think that is fine for now. Now one other thing, let's play it and see. Yeah, that's it. Look at that. Okay, let's stop that. You see the boss, let me go back in there, and I'm going to change that to about 30. Let's see what's going to happen with 30. Play it and see. Okay, you can change that back to maybe about 5, and let's see. Stop that first, change it to 5. Play. Yeah, I think 5 should do. Now I now want to paste that particle right by my gun. Let's look for the gun. In the first place, I'm going to grab it. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to place the particle in as a child of the gun. There we go, that's the gun there. Okay, make sure the particle is right at the front of the gun barrel itself, and that is that. So I think I need to move it a little bit here, something like that. Okay, so the next thing is select the gun, and let's come in here. You see where we have particle. Drag the particle system itself and dump it inside my muzzle flash here. there, and here where we have particle effect, I'm going to go to the folder 48 effects and double click on the effect folder, and let's select one of the effects we have in here. Maybe let's try out the fireball. Where is my, yeah, there we go, that's it. Drag the fireball and dump it right there. Alright, so let's try it out now. So I'm going to click on play. Let's just see what's going to happen. I've added some aliens on board. Any more? Look at that. That's how you create your own first person, or FPS in Unity. So with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. So with that, I'm gonna say bye for now.